It's Tuesday morning and I'm at the scrapyard. This is what I've collected so far today. It's not a lot. It might actually look like a van load, but because it's all just been thrown in and not stacked in neatly, there's really only a couple of 100 kilos in here. So this will take me 10 minutes to empty the van. I've got a little bit of dirty alley and some electric motors and a few bits of cable. I've got a few jobs to pick up now, then I'm going to go to my workshop. This is some scrap that I've collected since leaving the yard. I've got some appliances and some radiators and a few boilers. This is some stuff that I dropped off here this morning. A wee alley boiler and some rubbish, but there's copper piping amongst this stuff, so I need to sort through that. I'll need to clear this little space so that I can continue stacking up boilers. That's my van sorted. My workshop, however, is in quite a bit of a mess. I don't have time to sort these boxes out right now, or these buckets. I'll need to leave that for another day. I've got a little bit of scrap to pick up on my way home. Try to get finished early today. That's me home now. I picked up another 4 washing machines, so this will be starting work tomorrow. What is it today? Wednesday? It's now Wednesday morning. I'm at the scrapyard. I've got a wee van load. It's not full, but I was quite near the scrapyard and the traffic's busy, so it makes sense for me to come in here, get the van empty, and then I'll go back out when it's a bit quieter and finish picking up a few more jobs that I've got. I've got a little bit of stainless steel, a little bit of alley, a battery and some electric motors and a little bit of cable. There are some brass valves in here as well. Before I start collecting my next few jobs, I'm going to go and pressure wash the inside of this van and the outside. I'll probably get outside a quick clean as well. Then pick up my jobs. Then I'm going to go home, see my wife, get some breakfast, and then I'm going to go to my workshop and try and organise it because I've got boxes and stuff on the floor that I need to get put away. I'm back at my workshop now. This is what I've picked up since leaving the yard. I'm going to drop off my bucket and start sorting out some of this stuff. I'll probably be here for the next few hours. I might even try and separate the pump off of this motor. Right, let's try and dismantle the big motor. Not quite sure where to start, so I'll just start removing some pieces. One more maybe? No? What's that? Is that steel? I think that's steel. I check in case it's stainless. That's just steel. Let me get my grinder. This little fan has, I don't know if you'd call it a split pin passing through it. They're quite difficult to get out, so I think the easiest way of doing it is just cut the split pin on both ends. Can you see the little pin that passes through it? One of them. Not sure what you call them. I'll go get my wee buzz gun. Hopefully after all of this it's actually copper. $17mm socket. Obviously comes out from the other end. I don't think that's going to slide off of that. Let's see if it will come apart. That piece can just go back onto the van as scrap. This is the piece that we wanted. Let me drag this up the front. think it'll be copper. Let's check. That's fine. Now we need to try and crack the case. There's a few different ways you can split the case, either just with a big hammer, or cut it, or a hammer drill. That depends, I think, if it's cast steel, cast iron, or steel. I think this has been cast, so it should break. That's that split all the way up there. It might come out at that if you can open up the crack. Sometimes you need to crack it on both sides though. Still pretty stuck. Sorry about that, I ran out of storage there. That's a nice big motor. I don't really have a good method of getting the copper out of them at the minute. The way I do it, actually, is splitting them in half with an axe and then pulling the copper out with my pneumatic chisel. But eventually one day we'll have hydraulics set up for getting the copper out. Might as well do this one as well. Let me check that it's copper. Yep. Try the same again. That's that split. This one is alley. Sometimes alley is actually too soft to crack. It will just bend, but we'll try and see. It's cracked. Throw these in my motors bucket. Well, it's getting pretty full. I might need to find somewhere else for them. That's me packed up, I'm going home now. If I have space on the van tomorrow, I'll take that stuff to the scrapyard with me. And I've got more packaging outside, but I'll get rid of that stuff on Friday. I sorted through all my boxes, picked out all my copper and brass. I've just been adding to this stuff, and when I have time, I'll put it all through the cropper at some point. Thursday morning, I've got a little van load of scrap. There's a bit of ton in the van. I'll show you in my non-ferrous once I've emptied the van. Today I have got a little pile of electric motors and transformers, a little bit of copper and some household cables. I'm going to go to my workshop and drop this stuff off, and then at 12 o'clock I'm going back to the hydraulic business. I've got some more scrap to collect from him today. I forgot I had that wee boiler sitting there. I'm back at my workshop. I picked up a few more boilers and a little bit of scrap. I'm going to take the boilers out my van, as well as my little bits of non-ferrous metals. So this is what I picked up from the hydraulic business. I've got a pretty good load. The van is heavy. I've got all this pipe on it. A lot of this stuff as well is 316 stainless steel, which is good. There's even some copper pipe in here. I probably won't be able to show you, but there's bundles of copper. And we even got some brass. Quite a bit of brass in here. Not a lot, but enough. Enough to keep me happy. I'll show you some of the stuff I've managed to pick off. We've got some brass fittings, some copper pipe, and some brass rod. That's all brass rod. But I was going to try and take some motors off the van. There is that one, that one. There's another couple down in here. It's actually might be a bit difficult to get into. Someone asked me about my hammer before. This. I don't know if you can see. It's getting quite bent now. It's pretty beat up. But I made that myself. I stopped buying hammers and I just started making them. So I find an old hammer head, because you can only use these once. And this is the perfect sort of pipe that I've been waiting on finding. This. You just flatten the end of it, get it inside the hammer head, and then weld all and about it. So I'm going to keep a few bits of this pipe because I've been needing to renew my hammer. It seems a shame to scrap all this pipe, but there's not much I can do with it really. These pipes are all the full length of the van pretty much. The only thing that's left to go back for is he's got a small rack that had short cuttings in it, so I'm going to go back for that on Monday. It's Friday morning, I'm at the scrapyard nice and early. I was here pretty much for the opening. I think I'm the scrapyard's first customer. I need to get this van emptied. The guys are going to bring me a bin to put my 316 stainless steel in. I'm having to check every single piece of stainless. And I'll see if I can show you. The majority of it is 316. But some of it, unfortunately the big bits, is 304. So everything in this bin I've had to go through and check and make sure that it is 316. But the majority of it is 316. I don't know about this stuff. I'm probably going to sell that as just stainless. I don't see any markings on any of it. Yeah, I spoke to the man in the non-ferrous shed and he's going to accept this as 316. I did ask him. Basically because the small parts that have been used, the majority of the writing that's stamped on it has been rubbed off, but it's quite clearly the same pipe as this stuff, the brand new bundles, and this say 316 on it. But I found this piece. Let me see if I can show you. See there? Don't know if it'll focus. Don't know if you can see that or not, but it says 316 on it. So he's accepting all that as 316 as well, which is great news. I have made a little bit of progress. Shouldn't take me much longer to get the rest of the stuff off the van. You can see these motors I was telling you about yesterday. There's a few of them in there. That's my van pretty much empty. That's my electric motors. That's another one. I've got a little bit of light iron that I'm going to go and throw off. That's my 304 stainless. That's my little bundle of copper that I got. Got some copper and brass down in there as well. And I'll show you my bins. 190 kilos of alley. 227. 227 of 316. This is my next job. Big old alley boilers. Another one of them there. A few bits of flue. After this, I've got a car garage to go to. I'm back at the scrapyard with another wee pile of garage scrap and a wee load of batteries. I've been telling all my places to keep their batteries, but this garage needed them gone. You know, I'm paying less for batteries than I've ever paid, and I might still not make any money on these batteries. But we'll see. I'm actually going to weigh one and find out exactly. That's my little pile of car batteries, and I got some alternators. There's another one in there. A few little bits of brass. I've got a few boilers to collect, some radiators. I need to go to my workshop and try and drop off as much of this stuff as possible. And I might have some HIUs to collect today as well, I'm not sure. I need to phone the man and find out. I'm back at my workshop now. That's the boilers that I picked up. I need to get this van emptied and get all this stuff put away somewhere. That's my van empty. I'm going to need to try and take this to get it pressure washed because it's covered in oil. Hydraulic oil, I think. Anyway, I stripped these big boilers just because I wanted them off the van. Stacked up the rest of my boilers. I've still got all this to sort and all this stuff here to sort. This is some cable that I bought as well. It's all just household cable. Although I did buy a little bit of armour as well, low grade armour. Nothing exciting. I'm going to go and pressure wash the van, then pick up HIUs and then pick up 6 or so appliances and possibly some radiators. Here's what I've picked up so far. Boiler, some radiators. This was my HIU packaging, but there wasn't actually any HIUs. The boys had left them in their van. It was a bit of miscommunication. And one more boiler. I need to start organising this van because I've got more radiators and another boiler to collect. That's me home. You can see my boilers. Stacked all my radiators up nice and neat, put in some appliances. I'll need to sort out these boxes and these boilers, take them to the workshop, maybe Saturday or Sunday, I'm not sure. It's been a long week. I'm happy to be home and I'm going out for dinner. Well, I say out for dinner. We're going up to our wee local pub. Me, my wife and my 2 small kids. We're going to have steak and chips, so £21 steak and chips. I'm looking forward to it. Probably have a pint of Tennent's and a cocktail or 2. Thanks for watching and I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Oh, I forgot to say, because I know some of yous quite like to know the prices and stuff. The van load of scrap that I picked up yesterday from the engineering place. If you remember last week, I paid them £150 for last week's load. On Thursday, I paid them £400 for that load. I sold it this morning and I made about 767, so £367 profit on that. Plus I left the yard with all the electric motors and the copper and some brass. So I've doubled my money on that. That was another pretty good van load. And I've got a little bit of scrap to go back for on Monday. It's all right, that stuff's already bought and paid for now. There's not a lot. He's got a little bit of steel and some batteries. I'll go back for that on Monday. So that was another pretty good load. Thanks again to the other scrap man who sent me it. Appreciate it.